Inter Milan come here looking every inch the semi-finalists, having done a thoroughly convincing job on the same opponents in part one of this tie. The mood, of course, therefore, is good, certainly if you belong to the right camp. The question in their minds, not whether their team will progress, but can they do it with real style? We are soon, very soon, to receive the answer to that. We survey Milan's famous Curva Sud, one of the truly great shrines of the beautiful game. So one terrific performance under their belts, now they've got to do it all again, Jim.
Yeah, it's hard not to see it that way after such a convincing first crack at it. This team ought to ooze confidence and be able to recreate the authority and control. They've said all the right things.
Massive leap! He's done very well to get to that.
Murray is very sporting here to acknowledge the quality of the save. A lovely little footballing moment.
Gross. Hetamai plays it out to the flank. He's got away. Yeah, he's offering an apology for that. He needed to deliver a better ball. And Vardy! Vicious little by way of goalmouth action yet. Nicely measured pass. Shoots! Big moment! Massive goal!
Well, let me assure you that scoring just before half-time is always a real treat. And when it's one of your top talents who delivers it, it just seems to fuel confidence that little bit more. Well, you know, thinking about that, I think they've perfected that on the training ground because...
Murray! Daniel. And we hit half-time. Well, there we are, off they go for half-time. The breakthrough did indeed come in the first half, but there has only been that one goal. It is very, very tight. Inter Milan head into the dressing room, pleased with the thought that they have that all-important lead. Analysis to come during the break. So we're already into the second period. Inter Milan carrying a one-goal lead. He's left his man. Some excellent tackling here, and that one a perfect example. And it's Young. Aimed long and direct. Oh, that's a foul. Free kick's been given. The referee has resisted the temptation to go to his pocket. It's just a stern lecture. Ivanovic knocks it away. Here's the through ball. Murray. Now it's Callejon. Gets it upfield. He's on his way. Whistle's gone. That for offside? Yes, it is.
He just needs a cooler head to get that right. He got a little excited in his willingness to run clear.
And it's Callejon. Out wide to the right. Daniels. Quick ball forward. Now it's Vardy, going through. Milan making consecutive changes here.
Well, his stamina was called into question then, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with his heart and the efforts he put in. He was very willing, though, not quite able.
Oh, well intercepted, really alert to the danger. Kane plays it out to the wing. That was one quality pass away from being a very decent chance. It's Cristiano Ronaldo! Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
Oh, that's a sparkling save. Absolutely sparkling. His reflexes were ultra sharp.
And through to the goalkeeper. And the referee brings it to a close. Inter Milan through to the semi-finals. The trophy almost touchable. You cannot help but fancy them. Thoughts on what we've just... very good evening to you as you join us for tonight's live game. Unfortunately, the weather for it is forecast to be less than ideal. We are expecting intermittent spells of heavy rain, which just might impact on the...
He's tried one!
Inter Milan are having a tough week. It is a crazy schedule for them.
Yeah, it's a tough spell, and guarding against fatigue for the players is key now. Tiredness can be the blame for more injuries, so it's an opportunity for the manager to shuffle his pack.
Now it's Callejon.
It's Kane!
Saved only by poor finishing.
Just to point out, Peter, that the fullbacks are quite high.
And what are they trying to achieve?
Well, it's obviously a move to push the opposition wide.
Looking to shoot! Oh, terrific run to latch onto it, but the finish is all wrong.
It's easy to say it, but difficult to stop it when runs in behind are being made like that.
Callejon. There are a few waiting for it. Can he deliver? It's a loose ball. Callejon. He's had a shot! Goal! Inter!
Look, there just wasn't much of a gap to begin with, and to find it, I think it was a fine drive, and I don't think the keeper could have really planned for that. I think he's a bit unlucky in that instance.
Inter Milan draw first blood here.
And that ought to be the trigger for a really exciting and entertaining game from here on.
Going through, has a swing at it! Good effort, and it is right on half-time. Inter Milan glad to have a one-goal lead at this point, but you have to say things could have been very different.
I'm sure they'll be very happy with their first half performance and the scoreline. They'll definitely want to maintain their momentum now and finish the job.
Inter Milan come in, having established that lead, a game where the narrative is, at least in terms of the scoreline, so far so good. We're promptly into the second 45 minutes.
Inter going well here, and they're in a good position to kick on and add to their lead. They don't have to overcommit, but they can place more emphasis on stretching their...
Callejon! That was mighty close. Battles to win it back. Inter Milan are the epitome of solidity. They've not conceded in 5 games. Now it's Kane. Callejon.
This defence just doesn't trust itself to play a higher line.
Frightened of people getting in behind.
Yeah, absolutely. It just opens up the opportunity of not only strikers getting behind, but the runners from midfield too.
That always looked inevitable. The defence dealt with that really well. Jorginho. And that has been clubbed away. Inter Milan are able now to make their substitution. It's been on the cards for a few moments now.
I think you have to admire his willingness to keep plugging away, but the manager has done him a big favour, I think, by taking him off. You know, he was looking very, very leggy.
Almost nothing left on the clock here. Sampdoria are facing now the prospect of failing to make it into the European elite. And it's Rose. Inter Milan need to hold on for a... And that's that. Inter Milan win it by the only goal. Result, no question, the most important thing, however it came. Inter Milan return to action in this competition for which the dynamic has changed dramatically now as the group stages turn into the knockout.